Hey guys, it's Annie, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. Today I'll be talking about more unusual unsolved murders. So the first case we're going to talk about is about a person named Camilla Lyman. Camilla was a multi-millionaire. She was born in Massachusetts. She undergone like different physical transformations from a female to a man. So she started telling people, call me Cam. So Cam, 1981, Cam met a man named George O'Neill. They were buddies, they were friends. Cam stayed in a real big mansion. So he was like, George, you need a job. Do you want to work as my caretaker and take care of my pets and help me around the house? He was like, sure, sounds great. So everything was going pretty good until 1987. Every year Cam would send out Christmas cards to his family. This year he didn't. His family, very worried. They were like, where's Cam? Cam usually sends us Christmas cards. He hasn't sent them. Like, what's going on? Is he okay? Eventually, they were thinking that something horribly wrong had happened to him. So the police were called. The police questioned George O'Neill, the guy who helped Cam with his house. He was like, actually, I haven't seen him since the summertime. He's probably in Europe undergoing gender reassignment surgery. They kind of questioned him on why he thought that was what he was doing in Europe. He never gave an answer, so they kind of thought it was kind of funky. So after 8 years, Cam's family officially pronounced him dead. It was basically a cold case. They had no leads, they had no suspects. So the family declared him dead. 2 years later, within the time, a new real estate owner had gotten the house and they were trying to sell it. So the new real estate owner was, surveying the house. I mean, not surveying, but like, walking around the house, checking everything out. And that real estate owner found a dead body in the sewer. So the police were called. They identified the body as Cam Lyman. So they were like, okay, the only person that Cam really knew here is George. So they questioned George. George continuously said, I don't know where Cam is. He was the prime suspect. He said, quote, I don't know anything about it, unquote. But he eventually got arrested for embezzling Cam's money. Whenever money would get sent to the house, he would get it and keep it. So he was arrested for that. He was not arrested for Cam's murder. No one truly knows what happened to Cam. I didn't find any much more information about this case. So guys, the next case that I want to mention is the case of Arnold Archambeau and Ruby Buger. I think that's how you say the last names. I'm sorry if I kind of messed that up. I'm just saying them how they look, what they look like. I mean, Arnold and Ruby were a couple. Arnold was 20, Ruby was 19. They had recently had an infant, a child together, in early 1992. On December 12th, 1992, Arnold and Ruby went out of town. They took Ruby's cousin Tracy, and they were just driving along a road, and out of nowhere, Arnold crashed into a frozen ditch. Tracy was on the one but she was there when the police got there, and she stated that Arnold disappeared out of nowhere. Like, it was just like, it crashed and he was just gone, like he just disappeared in thin air. She said that Ruby, her cousin, didn't try and help her. She just left her there and ran off. Tracy also admitted that they had been drinking that night. They were all drunk. If the police were not called to the scene at the time that they did, then Tracy would have been deceased. The police in that town searched and did a search. No one ever found Arnold. No one ever found Ruby. They were not found December 12th, 1992, the day of the crash. Early March 1993, a passerby driver was driving past that same frozen ditch and noticed a frozen dead body. So they called the police. The police came down. They identified the body as Ruby. The only thing, Ruby wore glasses. Her glasses were gone, so were her shoes. Her clothes were perfectly intact. Shoes found. So they were kind of like, possibly if Ruby's around this area, maybe Arnold is too. Since no one had seen them since like forever. So they did pump out the ditch, and they did find Arnold's body in the ditch too, 15 miles away, like kind of like in the sewer type part. He was fully submerged in water. He was frozen. What makes it weird is that, of course, December 12th, they disappeared same day, same night, same hour. So the police had the theory that maybe they had run off together or something of that nature. So they're all just thinking if, they both died at the same time. So they did autopsy. Turns out they died of exposure, and their bodies were two different levels of decomposition. A witness came forward claiming that on New Year's Eve, she saw Arnold and 3 other people walking in town. The police were kind of skeptical of that, so they did a polygraph test on the woman. Turns out she had seen Arnold it never was clear who the other 3 people were. And most likely, if you know Arnold, you know Ruby, and she never really said that she saw Ruby too. So maybe, possibly, Ruby had already died, and he was just going on his merry way. No one truly knows what happened to Arnold or Ruby. I personally think they were murdered and put there for, I don't know why they were put back where they had that crash, but it's kind of weird to think about. Ruby's father stated that he thinks both of them were murdered, staged at that accident scene where they previously had an accident and they disappeared from. He thinks there was foul play involved, and he wants it solved. So the FBI was working on this case at the time. They didn't find any kind of evidence of foul play. They didn't find any evidence that they were killed by someone. So they closed the case, stated it as an accident, and closed the case in 1999. Everyone, I would say half of that police force thought that accident, the other half thought it was foul play. It's never been proven if it was foul play. I think it was foul play. It's never been proven. No one 100% knows what happened to Ruby and Arnold from December to March. They hadn't contacted anybody, no one's seen them, except for that one woman New Year's Eve who saw Arnold. The case is a cold case, it's closed. There haven't been any new evidence of anything, so it's just a closed case. Those were the 2 cases that I was going to talk about today. I picked those 2 cases because they're very weird to me. They're different. I think the first case, I think George O'Neill killed Cam. It just kind of, maybe there's possible theories that George didn't like Cam and just had planned to kill him all along because of him once being a woman and now a man. Possibly a hate crime. With Arnold and Ruby, I think they were murdered. I think it was foul play, totally foul play, or something of that nature. People in that town believe that, I kind of thought of it sort of when I first read it, that possibly the police definitely overlooked something. There was a dead body in a ditch. They would have saw it, and if they didn't, then they're blind as a bat, I guess. I do think there was foul play. All of those cases, both of those cases, foul play, definitely. And yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because I like discussing cold cases, missing people, conspiracy theories, and stuff of that nature. And if you guys have any suggestions on things to talk about, please comment them down below, and I surely will give them a great look. Possibly leave me your thoughts on what you think happened to these people. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Have a great day.